Hello. Bit of a different one today. As you see by the title, we will be playing The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead role-playing game to be released on the 28th of November by Free League Publishing. So, quite luckily, I've got onto the review list. And so they sent me access to ttrpg PDF versions of the game, and I've given it a read, mainly the starting set. I've read the starting set and the solo play. So the main rulebook has a big section on, which I've pointed out, a big section on solo play, which is very good, but that's not a review. And so what I thought we would do is we would give it a go playing. So I've cursory played, but this is once again my standard. Don't try it first, just do it in front of camera straight away. So there is, in the starting set, there's an adventure called The Wolf's Den, which sets out a story where you have a haven. So within the game you have, your safe place is a haven. So we are in a haven. So this isn't going to be using mainly the solo rules. It's going to be like, a bit of a mix and mash. The solo rules themselves are very much procedurally generating adventures, and I really like the looks of them. I'm going to see if I can get myself a copy of the actual game. Otherwise, I'll just play using the PDFs. It depends on if I can get one and if my finances will stretch that far. And actually start playing it probably for the Thursday release. So keeping Twilight 2000 on the Tuesday and doing it on the Thursday, because it looks really, really good, which isn't a review. And so I thought we'd have a quick go at the Wolf's Den. Now, the idea of the Wolf's Den is we have some pre-generated characters, and we're in a haven. There has been an incident in the haven where the leader of the haven's missus has done a runner with a new person who's joined the haven, Matthew. Her name is Rebecca. And so Rebecca has done a runner with Matthew, who is a bit of a charmer. They've stolen a whole load of supplies and the haven's vehicle and have gone off. We have followed them and tracked them down. Now the adventure goes through various areas, an area called Ravenhill and various other things. But what it says at the beginning, short on time. If you only have a little bit of time to play the scenario, you can skip the events leading up to the PCs finding Evergreen. Evergreen is a place where... Now, I've read all of the Walking Dead comics fully. I've actually even got a letter published in one episode where Carl gets shot and losing his eye. I wrote a letter to say, I felt very emotional because of it. I'll have to find it. If I can find it and put because I scanned it in. So if I can find it, I'll put it up on this video to just prove I got a letter published. But I've watched hardly any of the TV series. I had certain artistic problems with the way they introduced Rick Grimes in the TV series. The bit in the tank where he was going to take you, where he was going to exit. I don't think Rick Grimes in the comics would have done that, but that's different. I think Rick Grimes in the comics would keep fighting until he got his family back and not give in no matter what. And that Rick Grimes wasn't going to do that. And so I had artistic differences. Anyway, I digress. Apparently there was a group in the 5th and 6th season of the TV series called The Wolves, who are a violent group, and they are the focus of The Wolf's Den. There are two types of ways of playing the game. There's called campaign mode and survival mode. Now, survival mode is setting up situations which are very similar, linked to the TV series, and you can play events that occurred in the TV series, and you will actually encounter NPCs who come from the TV series. And then campaign mode is more your own story and telling stories. It seems very much based around story arcs. So different situations have beginning, middles and ends, and you have end game. And also the way it describes, and this isn't a review, the way it describes playing slightly abstracted, I quite dig, which is why I'd like to play it as an ongoing campaign. And it describes, don't bother with filler material, which is often, if you watch how I run my stuff, we talk about and we interact with main things that happen, and we just kind of discuss what happens in the in-between times. but we're mainly sort of focusing on the action or the interesting bits and the interest. So I might describe something and then I'll break into staff's voice. It kind of leans towards that type of play, which I think is really good because you're focusing on what's happening and the interactions between characters and the meat of the story, and all the other stuff is kind of abstracted out. I quite like that. It's quite good. So anyway, so what I thought we'd do is we would just not for very long. I mean, I've already been going about 10 minutes, so not for very long. So maybe we might do 20 minutes to half an hour more, where what we'll say is that two of our characters, Cecil Hart, who is the leader of the Haven, and Ali Abrams, who is another survivor who's come with Cecil. These are the PCs 1 and 2. So it says basically hand out from, there's 5 PCs, pre-gens that you can hand out, and it says dudes from 1. So I just thought 2 is okay because the solo play says have a main character and a companion that you hang out together, even though the Haven may have more NPCs in it. And there looks like there's whole rules for generating your Haven and various other things. It looks pretty cool. Again, I will either print out the PDF in more detail, or I will see if I can get the game. But we will say that we have gone through Raven Hill and various other things. We are outside of Evergreen, where the wolves have their base. I'll put up the map now. And what we'll do is we are somewhere in the tree line outside overlooking. Now to get here, we would have encountered some bad stuff. So so basically it's using mutant 0, the rolls, D6s, 6s are hits. So we'll say that we take stress because there's a thing called stress dice. So one person has got, so let's do, we've got 3, we'll take 3 stress minus a D3. So Cecil has, what's that? So that's 2. So Cecil has 1 stress and Ali has no stress. So the stress is quite interesting, but we'll get around to that. So what we're going to have is we will say that a lot of it is all abstracted, theatre of the mind. So we are going to be outside looking at, so there's a thing called threat. Let's use a D10 because threat goes to 0. So our threat starts at 1. Now what 1 means is, he says, looking it up, a threat of 1. So in the actual box set, apparently there's a threat meter that you can actually set threat, and so everyone can see it's on the table. So a threat 1 means that there are walkers in the round. So in those trees that we can see, there are walkers milling around, but they haven't noticed us. And we might suffer a single walker attack if we mess up in a skill test. So messing up means rolling a 1 on a stress dice. You then basically you muck up and something can happen. And normally the GM can decide what it is, but we decide ourselves. So we are going to scout out this area. So Cecil has got a pair of binoculars, which will give him a +2 to scouting. He has a scout skill of 2. And he also has a wits, which is, so it's a bit like Twilight 2000. We have a statistic and then a skill underneath it of 2, giving him 6 dice. And he has 1 stress. Now, how stress works is stress can make you succeed because you're stressed, so you want to get the job done. But also, if you roll a 1, then you fail. It's called rolling a walker. I assume the stress dice in the box set have walkers, like undead, on the ones on the dice. So Cecil is going to climb a tree and start scouting out the, so we'll say it's early in the morning on a Tuesday. And he's looking over the camp, and they're going to attempt to maneuver around a bit and try and look in the camp and see if they can identify what any of those buildings are. So we have no 6s. Now we do have some 1s, but it's not on our stress dice. So I don't think that means we mess up. I'll double check that. So messing up is only when it's on a stress dice. And so we haven't got any stress at this point. So we have, but we didn't. But we don't succeed. So we're not able to actually see what anything within this camp is. We can't decide what any of these buildings are. No matter how hard we're trying, we just can't really work it out. Maybe the light's glinting off our binoculars. So we'd describe it, we'd say, we can hear the rustling in the trees around us and in the bushes of walkers milling around. And the sun is glinting off us, and we're desperate to get Rebecca back because we have our drives can't live without Rebecca, and our issues, we're about to have a breakdown. So due to those things, we just can't focus enough to see what's going on inside the camp. So we'll turn to Ali, who's come with us, and we'll go, look, I can't see what's going on in there. We're going to have to get in and try and have a look in those buildings. I can't even see how many people are wandering around. I know in Ravenhill we were told that there's a gang in here, but I can't see anyone. There's a fire burning in the middle. So in that middle, so number 7, I'll put the map up again. That bit in the middle 7, maybe I'll talk over it now. The bit in the middle 7, that is apparently a bonfire, a big fire of furniture, books, corpses, plastic. So we can't see any of this stuff, but we can see thick black smoke coming out of that. And we can't, so probably it's because it's early in the morning, there isn't anybody moving around. So we will attempt to go in. Now, if we have a look at this map, what looks interesting? Let's go in around point 16. What does 16? 7 foot high wall. All right, so we need to climb this wall, we would need to make a mobility roll to climb over it without making any noise or being seen. Okay, so we will attempt to sneak. Is it stealth? So we're going to, both of us are going to make a stealth roll. We're going to separately try and get to that point on the map, which is marked 16. If we fail this, if we don't get a success, I'm going to say that we will get additional stress. Both of us will gain stress because I think the only way we're going to be able to make this interesting is by having that whole stress thing start piling up. And it seems like a sort of thing, you know, particularly because Cecil's about to have a breakdown. So we're going to attempt to stealthily move to point 16 and then climb over the wall. So Cecil has an agility of 4 and a stealth of 1 and a stealth dice of 1. We get 1 success. So Cecil successfully gets to that wall. And then we have Ibrams has a agility of 3 and a stealth of 2, but has no stealth dice. Gets no successes, and so gets a bit freaked out by a walker stumbling past Ali stumbling past Ali, and so thus Ali gets stressed and gains 1 stress dice. But we both get to the wall, and then Ali's looking a little bit panicked. Ali thinks that she is better than everybody else. So we have between us, Ali's got an axe, and Cecil has a knife, revolver and binoculars. That's all they've brought. So they're going to attempt to climb over this wall. They need to make a mobility roll to get over the wall without making a noise or being seen. Apparently there's walker heads that have been jammed on the top, which are due to this disgusting nature. Some of them there's rotting flesh peeling off the skin. Eye sockets are empty, but even then some of the jaws are still clicking as they're still reacting to the fact that their brains have not been disconnected. So we're going to attempt to climb over there, and then we can have a look at 8 or 1 and see what those buildings actually are. So we need to make a mobility roll to climb over. So Cecil has a 4 for agility, a 1 for mobility and 1 stress dice. Okay, getting 1 success. So Cecil gets to the top and drops down, and he's standing on inside the compound, waiting to see if Ali can get over. Ali has 3 agility, no mobility, and has that stress dice from being a bit stressed out. Okay, so we have a 6, so successfully attempting to climb over, but rolls a walker now. So that means that she messes up. Now let's have a look at what we've got for messing up. Messing up on a skill check. That was page 13, if I remember rightly. Messing up on a skill check. Messing up. When you mess up, it could mean that you alert the swarm by making a noise, raise the threat level by 1. Fail to notice a couple of walkers who are closing on you, a single attack. Run out of bullets, gas, no, because it's climbing. Offend someone, no. Hurt yourself, maybe. Break something important, get lost, lose your hostage. Now, maybe because when she was running through the forests, she got stressed because she failed the scout roll. So maybe some of the walkers have started taking notice. And what we will do is we will raise the threat level from 1 to 2. 2 is There are walkers close by, but they are not aware of you yet. The GM can draw a map of the area and point out where the walkers are located exactly. So one is there are walkers around, but you have not noticed you. You might suffer a single walker attack if you mess up a skill test. So that would be, so we could do a walker attack. Let's do a walker attack because we don't know what that is. Let's do a walker attack. Okay, so what we'll do, so that fail mess up means that as Ali is attempting to climb up, she's not paying attention, and all of a sudden she feels something grabbing at her leg and clawing at her boot, and then we roll a walker attack. Now, how walker attacks work is the walkers are basically abstracted out. This could kill us. So what we do is we roll a D66, and there's a table called walker attack. So the reds are the first digit. So we get a 42. 42, you lose your balance and it forces you backwards. You bump into sharp objects, fall over and hit your head. Stumble, severely twisting your ankle and wrists. Take 2 points of damage. So, Ali panics. I'm going to give her, Ali is going to get a second stress point because she's panicking. She falls off the wall because of this walker attacking her, getting 2 points, which makes Ali is now battered and bruised and with a sprained ankle. I will quickly look up if there's an effect of that. I don't think there is. I think what we're going to say is, so she has fallen off the wall, damaged herself, and the walker is leaning over her. Now, if she can make an act like a close combat, so what we've got, she's got close combat, not much. If she can make a close combat attack and get a success, she will be able to fight this thing off and then be able to struggle and try and do another maneuver roll, mobility roll, and get up over the wall. So she has a strength of 2 and a close combat of 1. She has an axe, which I think gives her a plus because the axe might have pluses on it. Small axe. A small axe gives a +2 bonus. So she'll get a +2 for the small axe, giving her 5 normal dice, 2 strength, 1 close combat, 2 for the axe, and 2 for stress. If she gets a plus, then she's chippy chopped. Maybe there's, actually, let's do, how many walkers? It's not just one. So this is called a double low. You roll 2d6 and you take the lowest one. So there's just one walker. So we roll. Okay, no successes. So these walkers are still sort of pestering her. And I'm going to give her an extra stress dice as she's starting to get panicked. Cecil is over the other side, starting to worry. She will do one more combat roll, and if it's... she might die now, which would... I don't know. It does say people die easy, and I mean, it's a zombie apocalypse. So she's going to swing the axe wildly. Oh, shit. Let's do that again. Oh, I mean, oh, sausage. So we had 5 of those and 3 of them. Oh, God. That was a 4. So she gets 1 success and no negatives there. So she swings the axe, chippy chops the walker, and it goes down. And then she attempts to climb up. Actually, we'll just say, just story-wise, and then because she's cleared that part of the area, we're still at a threat 1. She is then going to attempt to climb over. Oh, should we give her a mobility? It feels like we should give her a mobility, but we're going to give her, so she's got three of these and 2 of these. No, we'll just say she climbs the fence. So she climbs the fence and she gets in. She's quite badly injured and bruised. Cecil will be saying, oh, what happened to you? I got caught by a walker and it dragged me off the fence. Let's make them make a... so let's make Cecil make a scout roll to see if he can be quiet or they heard something. That should be a 1. No, he's quiet. Two successes. So he was able to keep quiet, and now they're inside the compound and they're going to have a quick look around and see what it is. So first they'll go, I can't remember what these buildings are. So this works quite well. We'll do another 10 minutes. and then we'll see what happens. I quite like the way, I need to read the rules a bit more, but I quite like the abstract nature. And so I'll put this up next week. So this is probably going to go up on Monday. I'll try and get this up. This should go up. It should be Monday. Hello, it's Monday. Residential. Okay, so we're going to go over to 8, and we're going to scout around 8. This says it's a residential building. All right. Okay. So what we've got in here is there's someone called Wolf. Oh, there's a wolf in here. One of the gang called Quame. It's like name, but Quame. Quame? Or Wame? Maybe silent K. He's staying in this building. All right. Okay. Okay. So, it's basically, I'll read this to you. So this is what we're going to incorporate into the story. The wolf named Quame is staying here. He's secretly started to doubt what the group is doing. If he has a chance, he will help the PCs, but the NPCs trapped in the barn are afraid of him and will urge the PCs to kill him. Fine. We can attempt to use... if we get in there, we can attempt to use either manipulation or leadership to... got distracted. So there would be a cut bit. I got distracted. I can't remember what I was saying. So, right, 10 more minutes. Okay, so we're going to sneak up to building 8, which is the residential building. Once we get inside, we'll do some sort of a social interaction with the wolf that's in there. So first off, we need to get from 16 over to 8. I'll put the map up. It should be quite easy to do, but we have Ali who's sort of hobbling a bit. Now we're going to do a stealth roll, which is agility of 3, a stealth of 2, and a stress of 3. We get a mess up, but we succeed with 2 successes. But she does mess up. So she is going to create some noise by knocking over a can, but she successfully gets there. But by knocking over a can, we are going to say that the walkers outside are starting to build up, and we're going to increase the threat level. And if the threat goes too high, they will basically start to bang at the gates and try and get in. Now we're going to have Cecil, who is also going to try and get across. He has a 4 agility, a 1 for stealth, and a 1 stress dice. Cecil succeeds. Cecil quite dramatically succeeds in sneaking across. So we'll say that Cecil not only sneaks across, but he's able to get a rear window open in that building so they can try and get in. And what they're looking for is I wonder where the truck, is the truck visible? I think the truck may be in a barn somewhere. Sorry, just quickly read through. Overturned truck, no. Pickup truck's 13. Where's 13? 13's outside. Okay, they would have seen the pickup truck outside, which is the one that got taken. But they decided not to do that. Okay, so Cecil's got a window open and has climbed in and has helped Ali in to get in to particularly after Ali kicked over some paint pot cans, creating a bit of a noise outside, and we can hear that the walkers outside are starting to notice, and they've made there's some moaning noises because our threat has gone to 2. The walkers are close by but are not aware of you yet. So we're inside the building. We will say that we will scout around the building and we'll attempt to see if there's anyone in here. Now there's only one person in here, and as we read out, that is Quame. So Quame will say to us, will stop us. Now Quame has got he got any sort of social skills? Regret, what is he? So he's got regrets. Now we are now going to flip over to our solo bit because we've got a way of abstracting, which is what I tried to do with a Majestic 13, which you'll probably see next week. Trying to abstract some rules for, which actually was because of reading this. Now it suggests that abstracting a challenge is based on how difficult or how good the NPC is. which I like. I like this. Got it. Right. So, what we've got, NPC difficulty, we've got standard or trained, expert or master. Does this say what he is? It doesn't say, so I'm going to guess he is standard, which means we need to get 1 success to successfully do. So what we're going to do is we are going to go up and let's see, manipulation is Ali. Ali is the most stressed. So we always describe the things, even though we don't just want to dump straight into dice rolls. So Ali is going to go around the buildings, and then as we come into one of the bedrooms, Quime, it's early in the morning, he's just putting his boots on and looks up shocked, but he's been shaking his head and he's not looking stressed, and basically he's going to say, what are you doing in here? And we're going to, and then this is where Cecil will step up and start to say about Rebecca, and he's looking quite stressed and quite panicked and saying, my wife is here. It's not his wife. My wife is here. I've come to get her back. You've got her here, and I don't know what she's doing here, but we can see the trucks outside, so she's in here somewhere. And Quime is going to look a bit agitated and sort of stand up, but not do anything bad. And this is where Ali will step in, moving Cecil aside with her arm and say, look, all we want is we just want to get our people back and get our stuff back. But mainly we want to get our people back. Is she here? And she's going to attempt to calm down the situation and convince Quam with manipulation that to help, and he is more susceptible, which is why we'll just say 1 success is all she needs. So she gets 1 success, 2, 3, 4 successes, and no mess ups. So Quam begins to cry and out gushes all the things that he's been doing, the people that they've killed, the things they've destroyed. He's going to tell them about the barn. What one's number the barn? The barn is number 4. He's going to say that the barn has captives in it, and he will say that they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 5 captives, and that he doesn't know, like he can't stand the nightmares anymore. They've been feeding the captives to some walkers that they have in a pit, which is number 2. Let's bung the map up. And he's going to say, so what was that? What was the barn? Number 4. Yeah, number 4. He's going to say that, so that if they're across there, look, I'll do my best I can. Look, if I go into, what's number 1? Number 8 was what we had. 8 is residential building. 1 is the main bit, which has got the kitchens and the bedrooms. And most of the wolves stay at number 1. And the leader is there. So what Quime is going to say is that he's going to go into the main residential building because of all those successes. He's wiping his eyes and wiping snot from his nose, and he says, I'll try and keep them distracted. If you can get everyone out of the barn and get out, then that's fine. I've done some, I don't know how much they're going to trust me, but I'll try and distract everyone and keep everyone in the building for as long as possible. So what we will then do is there's a clock thing. Actually, they use a clock. We're gonna do a clock, and every failed success is going to knock something off the clock. We'll have a I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on screen. Actually, let me see if I can find the clock. They use this in Ironsworn. Is that focused? I don't know. Like that. So we're going to do a clock like that. We're going to fill in 2 of them. So there's 4 empty. Every time we fail, every time we get a 1, as well as having something bad happen, we're going to tick one of these boxes off. And every time we fail to get a success, we're going to tick one of those boxes off. When all of those are filled up, the wolves are going to know that something's wrong, and they're going to come out and look, and then all hell will break loose. I will do, what time is it? I'm going to do 4 more minutes, because then it's going to be midnight here, and I'm going to stop. So we will go over to, so we're going to attempt to go across the courtyard across to where the NPCs are. We'll come around the outside and we'll use the bonfire to hide us. Now, I don't know if we're allowed to give additional dice, but I think if I was DMing it, I might do that. And so I'm going to give both of them, the same as like an equipment, a +2. Maybe it is. I vaguely recall reading something like this. So we're going to give both of them a +2 because we're going to use the smoke from the bonfire to hide us as we try and go around the outside. It means it takes a bit longer, but we're basically, we don't want to get caught. So we will do Ali first with her injury. So Ali has, so this is a stealth roll. She has 3 for her agility, 2 for the stealth, 2 as the bonus, and 3 stress dice. So we get 1 success, 2 successes, and no mess ups. So Ali manages to get over. And then we have Cecil, who has 4 for agility, 1 for stealth, 2 for the smoke, and 1 stress dice. He gets no successes. And what the no successes means that we fill in one of the boxes of the clock. That's what I said, didn't I? So because of no successes, he gets a bit lost in the smoke and sort of comes out and almost gets seen by a guy who is standing on the front porch of that building 1, having a bit of a sneaky ciggy in the morning. He's found some, I don't know, it's probably not tobacco he's smoking. He's probably smoking something that he's found and just sort of trying to consume. It's a real dry, old tobacco, which tastes awful, but it's better than nothing. And so Cecil is almost spotted, but they get to the barn. Now, the barn has 2 entry points, both secured from the outside with sturdy wooden planks. So they're going to have to remove the wooden planks, which might make a noise. We also have the fact that there is a 1 that we roll a d6 to find out if the NPC who's in charge of it is in the hayloft, is about to come checking the prisoners, or has just left so won't be back in a while, which is a d6. 4, which is he's coming to check in the prisoners in a few minutes. Now, luckily, we've got Quam, who's gone over and he's keeping them quiet for a bit. So he won't be coming for a bit more, and so that's the 3 clocks. Now, what we're going to have to do is try and get the doors off and get in. Or I'll do 5 more minutes. Try and get the doors. We'll try and blow the bloody doors off. That's an awful impersonation. Trying to get the doors open. They are heavy wooden, and so we will do strength. Cecil will attempt with his strength. He's got a strength of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, he doesn't have force. Force would be to force the doors open. So he has no force, so he only has a 4, and he has 1 stress die. He's going to try and force the doors open and see if he can get a success getting in. He gets 2 successes, so he's able to break open the door and get it down. And we'll say because he's got 2 successes, he doesn't make much noise as he's doing that. The doors crack open, and we have inside, we see, laying on the floor and bound is the 5 people, including Matthew. Now, Cecil, and this is where we might be able to end it, Cecil has a secret. And Cecil's secret is, you are going to kill Matthew when you see him. So Cecil is going to see Matthew. Matthew is laying on the floor. Matthew, it says, is an expert in... oh, look, we've got... Hold on. Yeah, yes, here we go. So what it has, NPCs. NPCs say what they're expert at. So Quam was expert at close combat and endure. And he's trained at scout and stealth. So that means he would be normal for being manipulated, which is what we ended up doing. So Matthew is an expert at manipulation and trained at nothing. He's an actor. He's an actor, darling. He is an actor. And so Matthew is going to smugly look up and go, so you've come. At last, you come for me. So if he's got an expert at manipulation, will he attempt to manipulate him? No, because that doesn't work nicely. I think Cecil is going to pull his gun. I think Cecil. Okay, what Cecil? I'm going to make Cecil make. Let's think. Empathy. Cecil is going to make an empathy check. If Cecil fails, which is 3, if Cecil fails empathy, I'm going to give him +1 stress because of this situation. So that means he's now got 2 stress. If Cecil fails this, he is just going to shoot Matthew. And if he rolls a Walker, the situation gets back. No, he's got a success there. 2 successes. So he holds it for the moment. He is going to go over and release Rebecca. Rebecca is going to attempt to release Matthew. Cecil is going to pull Rebecca away. Rebecca is going to resist, and we're going to have a little bit of a close combat between Cecil and Rebecca. Rebecca is trained, which means Cecil needs to make 2 successes to try and pull Rebecca away. They're not going to try and untie Matthew. If Cecil fails at this or rolls a 1, we'll say that all hell is going to break loose. Zombies are going to start banging on the doors, and we will end our little demo of Walking Dead. And I'm going to say that we will do this as a solo game. So Cecil has a 4 strength. Maybe he might. If we say it's a 1, he accidentally pushes. Rebecca over and kills her. That would be a nice, awesome ending. Oh, that would be. That's an episode ending. That's a TV series episode ending. Oh, come on. We want a 1 on this Walker dice. So Cecil is going to try and drag Rebecca away. He gets 3 successes. So he drags Rebecca out. Rebecca tries to resist and can't. He gets Rebecca to the door. Ali is saying, "What are you doing? What about Matthew?" Cecil is saying, if I stay in this room any longer, I'm going to kill him. And at the door, Rebecca is going to start screaming for help. At this point, the wolves will start piling out of the building. Quam is going to start to try and shoot at the wolves. And a big, massive Barney will break out in the camp as some zombies start pouring over the trucks which have blocked the doorway and falling to the ground. As Cecil will turn and point his pistol at Matthew, and he will fire, which then everybody then knows what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That was a 2. A 6 and a 6 and a 6. So the bullet hits Matthew in the back of the head. Rebecca starts scratching at Cecil's face as he's holding her tightly. As the wolves start shooting at the zombies start pouring in. There's dice that I can roll to find out how big the swarm is. Let's do a double low. A 3 is there's about 20. There's 20 to 50 zombies piling in over the fence, coming in. Credits roll. Walking Dead episode 1. I like that. I'd play that. That's all right. That is. I rushed the ending because I didn't want to go too long. But there we go. Walking Dead. Being released on November the 28th. I am definitely going to give that a go. But this is not a review. I'm not reviewing this. I'm not giving this a score because I am in no way, shape or form qualified to do such. But there we go. Thank you very much. If you like that, please hit like. If you'd like to subscribe, please subscribe. Then you'll know when I start releasing The Walking Dead, which will be quite soon. I will see you soon. Goodbye.